Welcome back to Open Line tonight. I was just checking our Facebook page at News Channel 5. We are carrying this Open Line on there. If you have a question that you would like our fellows to answer or debate about, go ahead and shoot it on there. Don't debate between yourselves. Give us a question and we'll see what we can do with it. In the meantime, I'm going to jump to the phones. We have Montrell on the line. Montrell, thanks for being part of the show. What's your question or comment?
My comment is, thank you for having me on the show. I would just want to applaud Senator Roberts for bringing this bill up to the floor, up at the General Assembly. I think this bill in the long run would help save lives at the home and at the schools, at the schoolhouse. So again, on the bottom of my heart and the rest of Tennessee, I thank you so much, Senator Roberts.
Well, thanks for calling in, Montrell. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to our next caller here. We have Mark holding on the line. Mark, thanks for your patience.
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Got a little different perspective on this. I've actually been selling gun safes for the past 25 years, and I can say if you have a potential, close to a 10% discount on purchasing gun safes, because I know anytime that I run a special and I'm giving that close of a discount, around 10%, it definitely increases my sales. So I don't see how this would do nothing but, promote the sale of gun safes.
Yeah, question for you, Mark. When you have someone buying guns, how likely are they to also buy a gun safe? Is that an easy sale to make?
Well, I don't have a gun store. I'm in the safe and vault business, and
gotcha.
Gun safes are probably 90% of my sales, and I've got 2 locations here in Tennessee. And to go to another, the thing that the gentlemen were stating is the amount of sales tax that's generated for the state. I know I send in a lot of sales tax every month selling gun safes, so there's a lot of people out there buying gun safes right now. So I mean, and of course, in a selfish way, I'm sure you could see that I'm supporting this bill, but in a safety sense, I think it's a good thing to start. I'm not in the idea of forcing people to do something, but if you give them a positive reason to do something like locking their guns up in a safe manner, this is the way to do it.
Well, Mark, thank you for calling in, sharing your experience. We appreciate hearing from you.
Sure, thank you.
Have a good one. I told you the phones have lit up, so let's get to James now. Hi, James.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. Go ahead.
I was looking at the gun safe issue, and I was wondering if this also includes having the gun stores put safes in their stores, because in this area we've had a recent gun stores being broken into and guns being stolen out of them.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, James. I know just in my town in Mount Juliet, we've had a couple of hit multiple times. It's happened in other parts of, I think Hendersonville's gotten hit. It's happened all over Nashville.
Exactly. And if you go into a gun store, all the guns are displayed in those bars on the window. They're not stopping anybody from running a truck into those doors and grabbing guns and running out. But the gun stores need safes like banks have safes. You put the guns in there, and I know it's an inconvenience, but it's well worth it, because those guns are the ones more than likely to wind up on the streets in these kids' hands.
Yeah. Thank you very much, James, for calling in. Now, that is not specifically a part of your bill.
No, that's not part of the bill, but it's an interesting idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been a big problem. I'm sure that you've had kind of your finger on the pulse of that.
I think the way Senator Roberts' bill is written, that it would allow the stores to buy, and then because they're a consumer at that point as opposed to a distributor, so they would be exempt as well. Yeah,
that is interesting. Okay, let's go to, I'm trying to read my own writing here, which is pretty bad with my broken wrist. Hi, Joey. Joey, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I live in Macomb County out in the country, and I'm a gun owner. And, I think the gun safe idea might be okay, but I think the real way to stop this is to accidental shooting with the children, is to make the parents responsible for what happens. If their kid gets shot with their loaded gun, make the parents responsible for it, press charges on them. Because I never keep a loaded gun in my house. The ammunition's next to it, but if a kid grabs a gun and shoots himself with it, the parents need to be press charges on them. That's about the only way you're going to really stop it. Make them responsible. I don't see why the parents aren't responsible for their stupidity of leaving a loaded gun out and their kid getting shot. Why don't they press charges on the parents?
And perhaps it is happening, but you said it's really up to the DAs.
Well, no. To the point is it's already illegal now when you talk about reckless endangerment. In other words, there's plenty of code that a prosecutor can throw at a parent when they've left a gun around that a child then uses and harms somebody. So it's already there in the code. But again, you know,
it can be very subjective though, and some want to apply it and some don't.
Well, I think as far as our prosecutors go, I think they're probably very aggressive in that. The problem is with any law that you have on the book, it's not, you know, people get into this thing about, do laws discourage behavior, do they change behavior, do they prevent behavior? And the reality of it is, it's kind of like selling drugs in a school zone. We've talked about how bad that is, how bad that is, and yet over and over again, somebody gets in front of a judge and says, I didn't know it was a school zone, it was 2 blocks over. And so you can put these laws in the books all you want, and really what they are is they're a big hammer in a toolbox for a prosecutor to go after someone after the fact. And that's one of the things that I've learned as a legislator. You know, I've not been a legislator for very long, but one of the first lessons I learned is you know how big the Bible is? Well, we've got like 75 of them in the state of Tennessee, and most people don't know what's in there until after they've done something wrong.
Okay, we have to take another quick break. This has been a great show so far. We have more callers on the line, a lot more to talk about. Just stay where you are. Open Line is coming back after this.